All right, welcome back. The one and only Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion. All right, thanks for coming in.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, good to see you as always.
Thanks.
We've got an interesting question for you today.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, we do.
All right, my ex-husband got remarried, and because his new wife has a substantial income, he quit his job. He now says since he has no income, he has filed to have his child support payments dropped. Can I make him get a job?
Well, she can't.
Right, not that one anyway.
But actually, this comes up fairly often. Not in really this scenario, but you get in a situation where the obligated parent, the one that's supposed to pay child support, has a reduction in their income. And so because of that, if it's a substantial and continuing change circumstance, you can modify the child support payments, either up or down based on that income.
Right.
Well, you get into the question of, well, what if we went part-time? Okay.
Okay.
Was it
So in other words, the kid's here for half and there for half.
No, I
Is
mean
that what
the
you
part-time
mean?
job.
You're trying part-time
Oh, right,
job.
okay.
So
Oh,
the
I thought
question
you
is,
meant
did we
splitting duties.
voluntarily reduce our income?
Right.
So what happens? You go to court. What the court has the right to do is impute income to a
Okay.
parent. Say, no, you have the ability. You have demonstrated that you have the ability to earn X amount of dollars, and
Yeah.
we're going to assume that if you're not doing that, that you're doing so voluntarily, unless
Right.
you can demonstrate otherwise.
Exactly.
So what would happen is the court would just basically, if this is factually exactly what happened, would just say, no, you're going to continue your child support payments as ordered.
Yeah, I'd say, no, your wife can pay him, and she might be the one that makes him get a job.
And that could very well be what happens.
I don't care who pays as long as it comes to
As
my
long as
house.
it gets paid, yeah. And
Because
that-
you don't get off the hook.
No.
If
Just-
you could get off the hook doing that, people would unfortunately probably try to do it all the time.
Absolutely. Even if we've seen scenarios where people are sent to prison. You know, they get in trouble later, they're sent to prison. It does not stop the child support obligation.
Oh, no. No, but that's an interesting one, too.
Well, it's the same thing. You voluntarily got in trouble.
Right.
You voluntarily put yourself in a situation where you could not earn the income. So you're not getting relieved of your obligation because of something you did essentially voluntarily through your own act.
How does that work
Yeah.
then? I'm just getting off on this whole idea.
I'm interested in that, too.
If they're not earning any income and literally don't have any income at this point.
Yeah.
Well, if it's
Then do they delay it until you're out? Or
Yeah, do they add it up?
if it's not your own, well, it's called an arrearage. If it's not your own fault, then you can have the child support amount changed.
Right.
I mean, just circumstances happen. You lost a job, you're looking for a job, and everybody believes that to be true. And it's a continuing circumstance. So a lost job might not really do it. It would have to be something more significant than that. But then, yeah, it accrues. At some point, there are civil remedies that the state can take to try to capture that income back. At some point, if it's found that you are willfully not paying your child support, it becomes a criminal offense,
Right.
and you can go to jail for that. Of course, the judge actually has the right to hold you in contempt of court civilly, and if you're in contempt of court, you can be put in jail. And sometimes that's the remedy that happens as well, and then you have to pay a certain amount in order to get out of jail. It's called a purge amount, and that gets that person out of jail, and then hopefully they will go ahead and catch up, and there's an arrearage
Hopefully.
plan where you're supposed to pay your obligated amount plus so much toward the arrearage over time. But it turns into a real snowball when people start to get behind on their child support.
Is that a long process? Because it sounds like it could really be a hard thing to prove and all that sort
it
of thing.
really is. Unfortunately, all this is a really long process, and sometimes people wait years and years and years to try to solve these problems. And of course, the courts, particularly the family courts, are the busiest, most overbooked, overcrowded courtrooms we have.
Yeah.
Just 50% of all the cases are going to be family law cases, and so to find time on a judge's schedule to get in and argue some of this stuff can be really difficult as well.
We don't have much time left, but do you ever see an occasion where the couple says, you know what, let's just do this without going through the courts, I'll pay you, he pays, she pays, everybody's happy, and they don't even go to court? Or is that not a good idea?
That does happen. It can happen. It's not a good idea because remember, whenever we're talking about child support and child custody, it's what's in the best interest of the child.
Right.
And the parents may not be in the court's eyes the
Right.
best ones to make those type of decisions. So you can
Okay.
get yourself in trouble with the court.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you,
See a
Will.
lawyer,
All right,
find
yeah.
out what you should and shouldn't do. Just don't get in trouble.
That's right.
All right. If you have a legal question for him, email him at wworsham@color10.com. He'll answer your question on the show, too. Again, Will Worsham, thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
Great to
Good
see
to
you.
see you.
All right. Up next, I'll show you more from my trip to Italy. Don't go away.
We believe in personally helping the people of Southwest Missouri at a very desperate time in their lives.
Sleep Mart in Mountain Home is the only place for the high-quality name brand beds at the guaranteed lowest price. That's right, Eastman House, Serta, and Tempur-Pedic at the guaranteed lowest price in the area. Unbelievable savings on the name brand mattresses you know and trust for the best night's sleep. And for a limited time, buy a king for the price of a queen. That's right, king-size beds for the price of a queen. Call, click, or come by today. Sleep Mart, name brand furniture, discounted prices.